Hi guys, it's me, Skylar Capri, and today we're doing part 2 of the holiday fragrances coming to the drugstore for 2025. In part 1, we focused on Olay, Tree Hut, and EOS, and then in part 2, we'll be focusing on Dove, Native, and Hempz. So if you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. Yes, we typically do Bath & Body Works content with a focus on the body care, but every once in a while, I do like to branch out, especially when I am seeing a lot of product coming out. Also, if maybe Bath & Body Works is not in the formula range, maybe you like something a little bit gentler with a little bit more cleaner ingredients, or Bath & Body Works is just not in the budget right now, I wanted to make sure I still appealed to you and was able to help you find and kind of navigate the holiday fragrance landscape, as there is a lot. So with that being said, let's dive right on into the video. All right, you guys, I'm going to sit on this side of the screen and put some images up right here, and we're going to be starting out with Dove. Now, I will be focusing specifically on Dove's 3 holiday treats. I know they also released an adjacent collection that is also limited edition, but it's not necessarily categorized directly as holiday. Now, that collection included fragrance, profiles of cranberry and orange peel. I believe they had like a vanilla marshmallow and then maybe like a fir or a pine fragrance, but I will just be sticking to the 3 specifically labeled holiday treats. Now, I did pull these off of Walmart, and I know that you are able to find them at Walmart. You are also sometimes able to find them at Target, but I'll be specifically looking at their body washes, the 20-ounce ones, and according to the Walmart website, these are coming in at $6.97 a piece. I know they also, I believe they do a body scrub for some of these fragrances, as well as a hand wash, maybe a deodorant, and I think they do like a body polish or maybe like a lotion of some sort. So there is a little bit of variability in terms of the product type available, but I'll be focusing on the body washes. Of course, the scent is the same. But we'll be starting out with Dove's Sugar Cookie Sprinkle. And I remember them coming out with a sugar cookie fragrance last year as part of their holiday treats, but I don't know if it was exactly called Sugar Cookie Sprinkle. I think the name might be new. I really do love the packaging though. They're keeping with the pink from last year, which I think looks super nice. Love the sugar cookies, like a little bit of frosting in this sparkly bow that's kind of interwoven throughout the label. I think this looks very nice. Now, regarding the fragrance itself, it says, indulge in the heartwarming vanilla nuttiness of a freshly baked sugar cookies, of freshly baked sugar cookies enveloping you in the shower. So I feel like this is going to be a super warm cookie fragrance, very similar to what I did in part 1. I will be seeing if any of these fragrances are somewhat similar or have a similar vibe as the Bath & Body Works ones. If I do believe there is a similarity or a crossover between a Bath & Body Works fragrance and one of these, I will mention it. Now, this is by no means like a dupe video or like, oh, this is an exact one-for-one match. It just is kind of similar to some of the Bath & Body Works products. If I see something, I'll call it out. That being said, I think that Sugar Cookie Sprinkle could be similar to the Warm Butter Cookie that will be coming out as part of the holiday line at Bath & Body Works in the minis. It's supposed to be coming out in the mini fine fragrance mist, the body cream, and the lip gloss. I could also see this being somewhat similar to Vanilla Bean Noel, just a really nice vanilla kind of cookie fragrance. Good for the gourmand girlies that really like to kind of stick with the vanilla and baked treats. So that would be definitely something I would keep on the radar if you really enjoy those warmer, more vanilla fragrances. Now, the next one we are also seeing back, and this is going to be Dove's Peppermint Bark. A lot of people love this one. It says, invigorate your senses with the scent of peppermint candy, perfectly blended with rich, creamy chocolate in a luxurious lather. Now, I feel like this one might be similar to the all-new Bath & Body Works X Milk Bar collab. The one specifically is going to be the Peppermint Bark Truffle, I believe it's called, as a part of the collection. I did an entire video on that collection a couple of days or a couple of weeks ago. I can't even remember right now, but I did speak briefly about that collection, and that one is also like a chocolate mint truffle. So I feel like Peppermint Bark definitely encapsulates a very similar vibe. Also, it's peppermint and chocolate, very similar to something we've seen in the past at Bath & Body Works that was a Bath & Body Works fragrance, not a collab, called Christmas Cocoa and Mint. Who doesn't love chocolate and mint? It's the perfect holiday fragrance. So I feel like this one is going to continue to be a bestseller for Dove this holiday season. The next fragrance we have is Spiced Chai Latte, and I believe this one is also returning. However, I'm not 100% sure on this. Although I do feel like I remember seeing this last year in Walmart alongside the apple, the pumpkin pie, the pecan butter crunch along their fall collection. I feel like I've seen this before, so I'm not sure if this is 100% new, but this one says it has scent notes, indulge in the notes of cardamom, clove, and comforting chai. So this one is going to be a little bit spicier. So I feel like if you're really into something like we saw a couple of years ago, like Leaves, which had such a big clove note, this might be something I'd keep really in your radar, or maybe even something like a gingerbread latte. I haven't smelled that one in store yet. I'm very excited, but if that one has like a gingerbread nuttiness, spiciness to it, but you're like, maybe not in the Bath & Body Works lineup, I need something a little bit gentler formula-wise, I think the spiced chai latte, or yes, it's spiced chai latte. I think I just cut the latte out. The spiced chai latte from Dove could be something you'd definitely want to keep in mind. So you guys, that really wraps up the Dove holiday treats. We're going to move right on into Native. And with Native, I will be speaking specifically off their body washes, and I have found all of these on the Native website. They're coming in at around $11 a piece, and I believe you get 18 fluid ounces. There are 7 fragrances coming for Native holiday, so grab your snack, grab your drink. We're going to be here for a while because we still have to do Hempz after we do Native. But the first fragrance we have is going to be Alpine Air, which has notes of red berries, cranberry, and pine. It says breathe in the invigorating scent of red berries and citrus spice. Pine and icy musk ground this refreshing fragrance, perfect for invigorating winter adventures that carry back to the indoors after the day is done. Absolutely love the little fragrance story. I think this one is going to be good if you want to cut through some of the sweetness. Maybe if you have a lot of vanilla bean noel, maybe you have a lot of gingerbread latte, maybe you have a lot of cozy vanilla bourbon, more of those gourmand leading fragrances, and you're looking for something a little bit fresh, a little bit fruity, I think this could have a place in your collection. Also, the red berries and cranberry, now this doesn't have a super citrusy note, but I think it could be somewhat similar or in the same scent family as Bright Christmas Morning. That's a bit of a stretch because Bright Christmas Morning really has this bright citrusy fragrance, but I feel like Bright Christmas Morning is unique in the Bath & Body Works lineup because it is a little bit lighter and it does kind of cut through the sweetness. I feel like Alpine Air could definitely do the same thing, especially with the pine note being listed as well. Now, the next fragrance we have is Fresh Mistletoe. This one says aldehydic, marine, and cedarwood. I might be butchering that first word, but it says envision a festive kiss under mistletoe with crisp notes of bergamot and marine. Cedarwood brings warmth to this enchanting scent, perfect for magical holiday greetings. Now, so many people really enjoyed kind of the pine fragrance that we got. I think it was called Northern Brights, and it was I almost want to say eucalyptus. I always say eucalyptus instead of aromatherapy. It was the aromatherapy fragrance. It was like a pine and eucalyptus. I believe Northern Brights is what it was called. A lot of people love that one. They were like, it's super different, it's fun, it's holiday. It's not necessarily like masculine or feminine. It's a really great unisex fragrance, perfect for the holiday season. If you really enjoy that fragrance, I think that Fresh Mistletoe could definitely be for you. Would be a great gifting one. Again, very, very holiday here. So if you're looking for holiday, but maybe you're like Vanilla Bean Noel, like way too gourmand for me, or like Twisted Peppermint, some people get a very toothpaste vibe. They're like, I do not want to smell like mint. Maybe Fresh Mistletoe is that perfect in between. Or again, it could be that one that cuts the sweetness for you. Maybe you have a lot of other sweet fragrances and you need something a little bit fresher, a little bit more outdoorsy. Fresh Mistletoe could have a place in your collection. Now, the next fragrance we have is Frosted Cherry. This one has notes of red fruits, jasmine, and sandalwood. It says, imagine the sweet aroma of red fruits and caramel balanced with jasmine. Sandalwood adds a cozy touch, perfect for festive winter evenings with the low hum of cheer and laughter. These are so cute. I'm loving the little descriptions. I love when we get a little story to the fragrance. It really makes you feel like a part of it. Now, for this one, I think this is going to be somewhat unique. If anything, I think this could be similar to Victoria's Secret's, I believe it's called Cherry Bonbon Bliss. That one has cherries in it. It also has jasmine and I believe maybe even sandalwood. I think there's going to be a lot of overlap between this one and that one. So if you're a Victoria's Secret shopper, or if you like Victoria's Secret fragrances, but maybe you're looking for something, a formula with a little bit cleaner ingredients, I think Frosted Cherry could definitely be for you. As far as comparing this to something in the Bath & Body Works holiday lineup, I'm not really seeing anything like one for one in the same kind of realm as this. So I think this one one would be pretty unique if you just shop Bath & Body Works, but you're looking to branch out a little bit. And I think it would be fun amongst a holiday collection. Again, cherry. Last year we got Perfect in Pink, which had a cherry. Some people really enjoy that type of fragrance. It was kind of different to what they're usually wearing chocolates, peppermints, apples, and Vanilla Bean Noel. Could have a space in your collection, but if you're happy with your cherries, maybe you picked up Sweetheart Cherry earlier, maybe you still have Sugar Cherry Crisp lying around. If you do, I'm extremely jealous because I really want that one to come back. Or maybe you have, Perfect in Pink from last year still lying around. I don't think you'll need this one, but it is a good option if maybe you are not with the traditional holiday fragrances and looking for something a little bit more fruity. The next one we have is definitely going to fulfill that fruity note, and this is Holiday Gumdrop. This one has notes of mandarin, juicy nectar, and vanilla. It says, picture savoring vibrant gumdrops with zesty mandarin and sweet peony. Vanilla adds a comforting finish, perfect for playful holiday moments like family games and fun. Again, I think this sort of like the frosted cherry could have a unique place in your collection. That mandarin note can be extremely fun around the holiday times. We see that nice bright citrus in something like a Bath & Body Works Bright Christmas Morning. So maybe if you're looking into something more citrusy, I think this could be definitely a good fit for your collection. The one thing I'd caution you on is having that sweet peony. Sometimes when it's a fruity vanilla and they add that kind of floral touch to it, people are like, this is not holiday, this is springtime. So maybe this isn't necessarily a true holiday fragrance according to what you define as holiday, but I definitely think this could be, again, one of those great transitional fragrances. I believe this was something I talked about either with the Victoria's Secret video with the Whipped Marshmallow Dream. That one has marshmallow, but it also has like jasmine and apple blossom. Very similar to that one. I think Holiday Gumdrop could serve as that transitional between the Februarys and the Januarys, the colder months, and then the March and April as we get more into the springtime. Also, the packaging is super cute on this. I am absolutely loving the pink color. Up next, we have Sugar Cookie. Now, this one is lemon zest, caramel, and buttercream. It says, imagine indulging in the freshly baked sugar cookies with hints of lemon zest and caramel. Buttercream and vanilla sugar complete this sweet delight, the perfect scent to wear when making homemade cookies with loved ones. Now, it's a cookie fragrance. We just talked about the Dove Sugar Cookie Sprinkle scent. In the Olay lineup, they also have a spoonful of sugar, which is like vanilla cream, kind of a cookie fragrance. Vanilla Bean Noel, very much a caramel very much a caramely cookie fragrance. The only thing really making this one unique is that lemon zest. I'm not exactly how strong that lemon will be. I don't know if it's going to be enough of a differentiator or it's going to be your average sugar cookie scent. I think we have a lot of cookie scents this year, and I really don't think you can go wrong. I think the only way you can go wrong is if you buy all 5 of them and you're like, why did I buy so much? I think you could maybe go wrong there, but it's going to be your basic sugar cookie scent unless that lemon really brightens it up, but I'll have to wait and see when that one gets into my Walmart or Target, etc. We have 2 more. Second to last, we have Vanilla Wonderland, and this one says fresh cotton, muguet, and vanilla. I believe muguet is Lily of the Valley because that is coming out in a new Everyday Luxuries perfume that I still can't figure out what I think it might be a higher end dupe of, and that's why I always do the video. I talk about the Everyday Luxuries and then I compare it to some higher end fragrances, and you guys, I am on the hunt for what I think that new one coming out could be, so I'll get back to you on that one, but back to the video, back to the regular scheduled programming. Picture a snowy escape with fresh cotton and apple blending into vanilla. A sweet finish of amber and sugar, perfect for dreamy winter days without the holiday noise and all the holiday wishes. This kind of sounds similar to that Victoria's Secret Marshmallow Dream that I just kind of talked about. That one also has a sugary note. It also has an apple to it. I don't think this one's necessarily anything exciting, but it's a vanilla with something else kind of added in. So maybe if you have a lot of vanilla fragrances, you're looking for a body wash just to layer in, maybe that's an ideal pick for you. Now, the official last native fragrance we have is called Winter Cashmere. This one has nutmeg, I believe it's pronounced muguet, and then Heineke wood. Totally butchering that. Envision wrapping yourself in cashmere with spicy nutmeg and rosemary. Heineke wood completes this warm, luxurious scent, perfect for cozy holiday nights after memorable gatherings. Now, this one is a little bit unique. The only thing that I can kind of see this being similar to is that spiced chai latte, just from that spicy nutmeg and kind of rosemary fragrance, although rosemary wouldn't even fit anywhere in that spiced chai latte realm. I think you have a unique one out of this one, especially with that woodiness. There could be be something similar in the Bath & Body Works men's collection. I'm just not extremely versed on that, so I couldn't give you an exact answer. But regarding the Bath & Body Works holiday collection, the Signature line, the Victoria's Secret, the Dove, really everything else I'm seeing in things like Olay, EOS, Tree Hut, Hempz coming up, I don't think this is really similar to anything we're seeing, so definitely be on the lookout. I think it could cut through the sweetness, and really loving this choice of green. It's like a sage green with a little scarf. Very, very cute. Now we have arrived at our last brand, and it is going to be Hempz. Now I am looking specifically on the Hempz website, but I do know that these are usually available at Walmart. I'm not sure about Target because usually I only ever see these at Walmart, at least where I am, but they could also very well be at Target. I do believe these are at Ulta as well. Now I'm going to be looking at the body moisturizer. I believe the large size, yes, so the 17 fluid ounce one, and off the Hempz website, it's coming in at $19.99 for the bottle. So up first, we have Vanilla Sugar Cookie. We've seen a lot of Vanilla Sugar Cookie fragrances so far in this video and really across the board in the holiday lineups. And this one says it smells like whipped vanilla icing, colored sprinkles, and sugar crystals. I don't think you can go wrong with a Vanilla Sugar Cookie. I think you have a lot of options to choose from. I think maybe the only way you can go wrong is if you use, you buy all 5 and that's not your favorite fragrance, and then you're left with, 5 fragrances lying around. Otherwise, you could definitely gift them off, but you have a lot of choices to choose from. Always be mindful about your consumption. I like to think of like, okay, if I'm buying this bottle, this is how many months of usage I'm buying. Good trick to keep yourself in check so you don't go too crazy over body care. Now, the next one we have is Winter Wonderland, and I believe it's iced bergamot. It's kind of covering the note in the image, but I believe it is iced bergamot, fir needles, and white woods. And this kind of sounds similar to some of the native fragrances. It's more of that fresh fragrance. Again, maybe you don't like something super sugary or super fruity. You're looking for something a little bit neutral, maybe even outdoorsy leaning. I think that Winter Wonderland could definitely be for you. Also, love the blue package. You kind of have the pine cones, the snow, the little snowflakes at the top. I think this is very, very cute. The next one we have is Pink Peppermint Meringue, and this one is definitely giving a twisted peppermint, but there is a twist. Now this one says it smells like strawberries, peppermint, and marshmallow fluff, which is a very interesting combination, mixing that fruity fragrance with the peppermint, something we talked about in part 1 of this video, and I believe that one was the Tree Hut it's not Merry Mistletoe, maybe Tree Hut Merry Mint, I believe, because that one has peppermint, marshmallow fluff, and not marshmallow fluff. That one has peppermint and cotton candy. So that one's kind of different. This one has strawberries and peppermint, also kind of different. I talked about how when you have the bag of Halloween candy and you have your chocolate right next to some like super fruity gummies, and then you take a bite of like your chocolate and you're like, this kind of has a fruity taste to it. Like, what's kind of going on? Not exactly sure how fruity and mint will work. It kind of reminds me of like gum, like maybe you're chewing strawberry gum or like have strawberry candy and then you put gum in your mouth, like mint gum, and you're like, whoa, that's really odd. Or kind of those icebreakers that were like half strawberry, half mint. If you know, you know. Otherwise, I just look, crazy. But I definitely remember those. It was like the cool, fruity cool something. I'll put an image on the screen. So I'm not exactly sure how that would work out. Not a scent profile that I would most likely go for, but you know what? Maybe it's different and maybe it really works. So there is awareness on the Hempz, and what was that one called? The Pink Peppermint Meringue. Yes, Hempz Pink Peppermint Meringue. Now, if you guys have lasted this long in this video, I'm giving you a round of applause. We have reached our last and final fragrance to wrap this video up, and that is going to be Sweet Berry Woods by Hempz. This one says it's sweet raspberry jam, maple glazed pine cones, and strawberry. I don't even know where to start with this one. I think it maybe will smell like a strawberry pancake. I'm thinking from the maple glazed pine cones, maybe it's like a maple syrupy, and then you have the strawberry and then the jam. This one's a little bit out there for me personally, although packaging super cute. Love the berries, the pine cones, the green, of course. I think this looks really great, but from a scent profile perspective, I have no idea what to think about this. So you guys completely caught me off guard on the last one, but this was a super long video. So if you are here till the end, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed, found the video helpful, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.